Yes, beautiful question. Yes, usually we believe what others have told us. See, nothing wrong in that. What every soul needs inside, whether it be a male or a female, our soul needs to be heard. Our soul needs that recognition. Our soul needs that respect. And that's why what happens, if other people don't appreciate our acts, if other people don't show their trust, we feel that we are doing wrong. So first of all, you have to start changing this equation by starting to ask yourself these questions, that whatever I'm doing right now, do I love it the most? Do I get lost in my time when I'm doing this activity? And how through this activity I can contribute to the world? If the answers are in your favor, just keep doing the work you are doing, and eventually other people will follow you. Because, see, I always say your beliefs are not going to change unless and until you change your actions. So, trust me, the beliefs will take time to break down, and it will take time for a new belief to form. But the first thing you have to do is change your actions. Like, I will give you an example. Suppose here I had a client who was scared of buying branded clothes. Okay, she had a conditioning. She was not financially strong in her childhood. So every time she wanted to buy something branded, her mom or her elders used to say that we don't have enough. We don't have enough to buy these brands. Okay, so somewhere it became her belief that she doesn't have enough. And with that belief, she carried on with her whole life, married to a rich family, but scared to buy branded because she believed inside that there is not enough. If I buy branded, I may not deserve it or I may lose it. So here she needed to understand first that this was a childhood belief. We worked on that where it came from, and then we re-imprinted it, and then she started breaking it with those actions. What actions I gave her? Every month you have to buy something branded. Start with a piece of jewelry. Start with a piece of anything in your wardrobe that is needed, but every month you have to buy something branded. And when you buy it, say and repeat to yourself that I deserve it. It was meant for me. As I have purchased it, this is meant for me. Own it. It has to show respect that you own that thing. And eventually she started loving herself. Eventually, and then she says, Abida, I don't even remember where this thought came from that I cannot buy brands. Okay. So it is very simple. I always say, emotions are simple, ladies, only the words are heavy. Yes, believe in yourself a little more. If you remember that story of Jack and Lewis, you know what you have to do. Yeah, so the actions are always simple. You have to start simple. I always say emotional wisdom, the journey to emotional wisdom is not that hard, only the words appear to be hard. It takes very small steps, it takes very basic steps, but it can be done. And I always say, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
Thank you.
Okay, here I can ask another question, Rutima. What is it about? Is it taking about the decision or the fear of losing the faith or fear of losing the person or fear of losing the
Uh,
relationship?
at times it's both, or I guess we most of the time get not receive the appreciation. That's why maybe it happens. I
Yes.
actually don't get that, so
Ah,
that's why I'm asking.
yes. See, we are doing something and we are expecting something in return, right? Nothing wrong in that. Okay, we are humans. We expect something. But you know what happens when we are expecting something? Already we have given the power to that other person. He may fulfill our expectation, he may not fulfill our expectation.
Okay,
Yes?
true.
Okay, the power has already gone to the other person. It's
We
okay to
can't.
expect, I say. See, Rutima, it
Okay.
is okay to expect, but if you don't get that appreciation, if that expectation is not fulfilled, What you do with that disappointment is totally your responsibility.
Better don't
Okay,
expect.
no, with this is not possible. I always say you cannot be. See, if someone says, Abida, I don't want to be angry, I don't want to expect. How is this possible? Okay, this is not addressing your emotions in a healthy way. I always say if we are humans, we will have anger. If we are humans, we will expect. But what happens is we have to turn the arrow of responsibility from the other person to ourselves, that what I have to do if I'm not appreciated enough. And you know what you can do best? If you know you have given your 100%, why you are waiting for anybody else to applaud for you? Start applauding for yourself, Rutima. For some time, you have to applaud for yourself, and then the other people will applaud for you. Okay, so this is sometimes, we have our fears. We have a sometimes, it is always, I always say, fear of assumption. We assume something, and then we just take a step back. We assume something, that if I say this or if I ask for this, I may not be received, and I don't want to listen a no. But I always say the more no's you listen, eventually they are taking you towards your yes. So take most no's so that you are going towards a yes. For me, starting coaching was a no from every side. Remember, Rutima, everyone said me, everybody is diving into coaching industry, Abida, what you will do. But I had that belief that no, if something is inside me, let me spread it to the world. So, there was a no from every side, but I believed in myself and I kept doing it and kept doing it. And here the same person says me that you are a coach and you cannot be anything else. But it has taken 3 years.
Wow.
It has taken 3 years.
Wonderful.
Yes. Okay. So for some time, Rutima, just applaud for yourself. Just expect from yourself what you have to do when your expectations are not met, when your expectations are not fulfilled. That arrow has to be towards you. Okay. See here what I'll say, she has given all the power to each and every person in the family. First, she has to take one step at a time with courage, Vijayashri. I always say, see, if you are obedient, 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 and suddenly you show something different, suddenly you just burst out, will you be received? No,
Yep.
you may be received, you may not be received. So what happens is it will be a shock to other person also, that what happened to her. All the time she was doing everything and suddenly now she wants to do something different. So they don't accept. So we have to give them time. And first of all, see what happens. I never use these words like never and always. He always irritates me, or he never listens to me. This never and always is completely hypothetical, which we create. We go into some situation and we think this happens with me always. He never listens to me, he never supports me, or the family doesn't support me. So first of all, remember those areas where they supported you. And then I say always begin with a good communication and be open in communication, and please be ready to receive the no. Please be ready to be rejected, be open to rejections. Okay, what happens with us is we don't want to listen and know, and then we take a step back, that I'm criticized always. There is a judgment for me. There are always rules for me. Yes, there are always rules for you because you have shown that kind of a person to everyone. Tell them. I always say, start with the communication. Yes, it will not be received, but if you do it, they will understand. There has to be a rebel in you, there has to be a courageous person in you, because I always say when you stand for yourself, God holds your hands. So it is very important to stand for yourself. Okay, I want to give you an example, Vijayashri. In social media you can go and just watch Jay Madan. Okay, she's an astrologer, and when she wanted to do astrology, trust me, nobody wanted her to be an astrologer, because she said, I will add glamour to it. I will add my aura to it, and nobody in her family said that you won't be appreciated, you won't be accepted, because for astrologers there is a perception in audience mind. You won't be taken as you are. But she said, I have taken a decision and I'm going to go ahead in that. So, sometimes you have to take that rejection. Sometimes you have to take that disappointment. I said, no, some people in your family will be like that villagers of the story. They don't see an evidence, no? They don't see an evidence today. How you are expecting them to believe in you the very first day? You keep on working on the evidence. I always say, sometimes the tip of the iceberg shows, but the kind of groundwork happens inside. But the people will see only the tip of iceberg because that is visible to their eyes. Okay, to reach that tip, you have to do the groundwork. So now she has to take that step one day at a time. She has to tell that, I have to do this. I want to do this. Even if you allow me, even if you don't allow me, I'm going to do this. And nobody can stop you. Yes, they'll be disappointed. I always say your journey is your responsibility. In this journey, why do you carry an extra burden that everybody else has to be happy with your journey? Everybody has to be happy. Everybody has to appreciate your journey. Everybody has to accept your journey. How this is possible? How this is possible? This is not at all possible. So I always say, when you are walking, just walk alone for some time. Okay, encourage yourself, empower yourself when needed, and somebody will follow you. Somebody will hold your hand along that path. See, I always say, when you put yourself, immerse yourself in something very beautiful that resonates with your heart, the world sees your efforts. But it will take time, Vijayashri. It will take time. So now she is done with all the responsibilities. Okay, so she has to go. She has to talk in a very polite and a very loving language, that now I want to live for myself. I want 1 hour every day for myself. And the kind of communication, see, it is very important, Vijayashri. I always say, it is not important what you speak, but it is very important how you speak. So please don't go with that assumptions. We go with a fear. We go with an assumption that it may not be received. We go with an assumption that, a relationship will go. He will get angry, or the other person may not appreciate. No, this is going to happen. Okay. Again, you have to ask yourself, whatever am I doing? Is it for my happiness or for their happiness? So, start filling the cup. Please tell your friend that it's time to start filling her cup. I always say, see, a simple example I will give you. If you are in a party and you have a cup in your hand, okay, and then you just bang onto someone. So, suppose there is coffee in your cup. What is going to spill on the other person? What is going to get spilled on the other person?
Coffee. The coffee.
Coffee,
Coffee.
of course.
Yeah. And if there is water?
Water.
Water. Okay. And if there is emptiness? The cup is empty?
Nothing will spill.
Yeah. So what is inside is going to spill outside. Okay. So now you have to understand, yes, what I have to fill inside.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful question, Manjari. Here I'll try to answer in some time because it's a deep topic. Yeah. It has to be related to your beliefs. It has to be related to what you are carrying inside. So, but here I would like to say, okay, suppose if you are good in cooking and you are trying something new. Okay. Do you have some butterflies in your stomach, that excitement, that anxiety, that how the dish is going to turn out? You have that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
will,
Happens?
of course. Yes, it's natural.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very natural. Amazing. This is what I wanted. That it is very natural to feel that anxiety. It is very natural to feel that nervousness when you go in some uncomfortable zone. Okay. So start saying no is an uncomfortable zone which you want to enter. So you will feel that nervousness, you will feel that anxiety for the first time. Okay. But think of it as if you are preparing a new dish, and start saying no. Because I always say, the moment you just come out of your comfort zone and do something uncomfortable, this nervousness, this anxiety will pull you down, that please, Manjari, don't enter in this comfort zone, don't enter in this new zone as it is something new. But I always say, we respect ourselves more, we believe in ourselves more when we start achieving something new. So saying no is a new territory where you are entering. Okay. And saying no is important rather than the no to be received. Okay. Playing the game is important. You may win sometimes, you may lose sometimes. Okay. So saying no is important. How you can say no is complete an art of communication. Complete art of communication. As I always say, there are love languages. There is a kind of pattern with which we are saying no. I always say you can be either assertive or you can be rude. There is a very fine line between assertiveness and rude. And what happens is, in the beginning, when we are saying no, our tone gets rude, because
Yeah.
we are not that happy inside. There is an overburden inside. And here I want to say, take one step at a time. You need not prove the world by multitasking. I am not a multitasker. I have stopped multitasking, because what happens with time, multitasking reduces your focus, multitasking reduces your efficiency. So there are days when I multitask, and there are days when I don't multitask by choice. Okay. And then the days when I am not multitasking by choice, I just declare this. I declare it. I communicate to them that I am not feeling well. I'm not going to do this. Okay. Yes. First, there can be a friction. First, there can be something. So, I always say, be open to play the game. Be open to play the game. You may be received sometimes, but there is always a bridge. And see, I know that our family is not that bitter that it's going to take a hammer and say, no, cooking to you have to do. You only have to do. If you are not feeling, there are available options that, okay, today we can get order from outside, or somebody else can prepare. And I also want to tell everyone that, please, it is our responsibility to make independent each and every family member independent in our family. My son is 12 years of age, but I have started teaching him cooking. I always tell him, beta, I am not going to be available for you 24/7. So the basic things you should know. As a mother, as a woman of the house, now it is our responsibility what kind of men we are nurturing, what kind of children we are nurturing. So, Manjari, it begins with you. See, the house will operate if you are also not there. Yes or no?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, it operates if you are not there. See, ask for help. I always say, ask for help when needed, and communicate your no with a love in your language, okay, with a love in your heart, and pray that it is going to be received. And trust me, slowly and steadily they understand. Okay, just don't go, just declare them, okay, give them a space. They should not go in a shock. I always say, what happens is, suddenly you are a giver and now you want to be a receiver.
Yeah,
Without
exactly.
without building that bridge, how are you expecting that the other person has to absorb this? How can we suppose, I'll give you one example. Tomorrow, if my spouse says, from tomorrow I'm going to follow my passion, okay, and I'm not going for my profession, what will happen? It will be a shock for me. Yes or no? I'll start, where will the money come from? How we are going to do the daily course of our life? How we are going to handle the finances? Yes or no?
Yes.
So I always say, there is a transition in a newer you. There is always has to be a transition, one step at a time. If he says, or if I can say, if there is an option, you have to follow your passion, I am going to support you Saturdays and Sundays. Okay, Monday to Friday, please, you work on your profession so that our earning doesn't get disturbed. And Saturday and Sunday, I'll take care that you follow your passion. How does this work?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Yes, Manjari. See, I always say, you want support. Okay, become that support. Yeah, because we don't build that bridge. So what happens is, this happens in our relationships then. So I always say, from today, just keep your fears aside, keep your assumptions in a dustbin, and convey. Start conveying what you are really feeling inside. And remember that, Abida has said it can be a first no, it can be a second no, it can be a third no, but it's my journey towards my yes. So I'm going to win. After these no's journey, I'm going to get a yes. So it's a journey, I would say, Manjari. Just follow that. Yeah, I think with that constraint of time, I have tried to give the best answer. Hope it helps.